It's Renee, and welcome to my podcast, Peace, Love, Abundance. Live again. I took 2 weeks off, but I'm back. Woo-woo. I hit my 50th episode a couple weeks ago, and I felt like that deserved a little bit of a break. So I took a break. Thanks for being back today, though. I'm happy to be back, and I'm going to do a little bit more on skin. I kind of left you off on skin, and I don't know, skin is exciting. And I just got licensed in Hawaii for my esthetician license. I've been licensed in Colorado for like 15 years, but I just moved and transferred to Hawaii, and that was pretty exciting to accomplish, taking the test again and getting licensed in Hawaii. So it refreshed all my love and memories for skin. So let's do a little bit more on skin today. Today, I wanted to talk about, or not wanted, I do want to. Let's speak in the present moment. I want to talk about how your skin is indicative of your overall health, or indicative of what's going on inside. Your skin, if you haven't listened to my other podcasts, or even if you have, it's always good to have a little refresher that your skin is the largest organ of your body. Yes, it's an organ. So an organ, just like your liver, your pancreas, your kidney, your large intestine, small intestine, your heart. Can you believe that? Your skin is an organ just like your heart. Many of us don't think of our skin as being an organ, but it is. It's the largest organ of your body. And often we go out and we buy a $200 eye cream to dot around our eyes, right? We go out and spend maybe not $200, even if you're spending $50 on an eye cream. Today's episode might help you understand why even that $50 eye cream may not be helping you as much as you think it is, because our skin is an organ from the tip top of your head all the way down to your toes. Yes, our skin is the largest organ of our body. And a $200 eye cream is not going to take care of all of it. I am big into whole body care. So looking at even your daily habits, daily self-care, what you put in your body, even how we protect it from the elements on the outside, like sunshine, fumes, like sitting in traffic, breathing in all that exhaust, smoking. These days, a lot of restaurants and bars don't allow smoking inside. So that's kind of nice that we're not all breathing in secondhand smoke. Even if you are a smoker, you don't really want to subject yourself to even more smoke than the one you're smoking, right? Either way, I used to be a smoker, believe it or not. All right, little side path, little trivia for you. I haven't always been the Renee that you know me as today. At one time in my life, I smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And I firmly believe that anybody can quit and stop smoking cigarettes. You just have to make it happen. I did it. I went from 2 packs a day to nothing. I had a lot of motivators. You know, my mom and 2 brothers dying of incurable diseases. And in my mind, I started to think, wow, they really wanted to choose life, but yet they still passed away, right? They were trying to choose life, but they passed away. So smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, I would have been very disappointed in myself to not be choosing life. And if I would have died from smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, I would have been highly disappointed in myself, knowing that I possibly could have saved myself, right? So I made that decision to quit smoking and work towards choosing life, work towards living my life daily healthy. All right, there's a little trivia for you, but I do like to share that nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Still to this day, I'm not perfect. I do believe in kind of that 80-20 rule. 80% of the time we can control what we put in our bodies, or how we treat our bodies, what we consume, what we expose ourselves to. And then there's that 20% where you just got to go with the flow, punches as they come, and sometimes cross your fingers and hope for the best, right? All right, anyway, little side tangent. Let's get back to the skin being the largest organ of your body. and how it is indicative of your health on the inside. So speaking of smoking, whenever I smoked, I definitely had more of that pale gray skin. My skin looked like it was starving for oxygen. Yes, we do actually take on that look in our skin. It's pale, dull, not glowing very much from the exposure of the smoke. Now, can sitting in traffic for mass amounts and inhaling all that exhaust? Yeah, very possibly. I believe it can. Or having any other kind of job out there where you are inhaling chemicals or things that aren't good for you all day long. When I was in the printing industry, a lot of chemicals are used on those presses, and the inks themselves have a pretty strong smell. So every day, on top of smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, wasn't this wonderful? I smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day and was exposed to all those solvents and everything. And yeah, I think that my skin, even though I was in my 20s, was not as healthy as it can be or what it is even today. I believe that at 48 years old, I am probably about the healthiest I've ever been, as well as even my skin being healthier than it's ever been. So that's just an example of your skin being indicative of what's going on inside. Is the pale gray, no glow. You're probably starving for some oxygen on the inside. You need oxygen to be rosy and shiny and glowing. We need oxygen. We need lots of other things too. But if you are a smoker and you have gray, pale skin, maybe vanity is enough to ditch the smoking and have a better glow. All right, other things, like eczema, psoriasis, and bumps. I have a whole episode on that you could also listen to and get into it more. But having constant chronic things with your skin, like the eczema, psoriasis, bumps, constant breakouts, a lot of that can be indicative of what's going on inside and externally. I have an episode on that. Maybe watch an episode. Maybe you're topically using a product that doesn't agree to you, and so your skin is reacting from the outside. But it's also very possible it's reacting from the inside. Some of this can be indicative of maybe too much sugar or yeast in your diet. If you tend to eat a lot of breads. Breads are high in carbs, the yeast, and sugar. Maybe you partake in a few too many sugary snacks. Now, I like to think that fruit is made from Mother Nature and void of all that, but unfortunately, there are some fruits out there. Mangoes, I love mangoes, and it's mango season here on Hawaii. But like a mango is higher in sugar than a blueberry. So it's mango season. I obviously partake in it and have mango because it's mango season. But my go-to, I try more often. So mango, I only eat a half a mango here and there. I make Bill share them with me. And then also my go-to fruits are going to be more like blueberries and strawberries. So on a regular basis, getting fiber and vitamins and nutrients in my body, I reach more for the berries. I get my fruit fix and all that. But, a mango here and there, half a mango here and there is not going to hurt you. But if you are making a concentrated smoothie, a lot of smoothie mixes these days have also sugar added to them. Or you're drinking soda. This is the kind of sugar I'm talking about, is all the extra added sugar. And then maybe even you'll have pasta and pizza for dinner, and it's got yeast and more carbs in it from being a bread or a pasta. These things can show up on your skin as promoting the growth of what's called candida. Candida is another term basically for yeast overgrowth in your body. And let's face it, candida almost does sound kind of nicer to say than yeast, right? Anyway, so when you have some of these eczema spots on your body, or you just have this dry, flaky, chronic, it doesn't go away. Another one is called like the versicolor that shows up sometimes on people's backs in the summer whenever you're getting sun, but then some of your back doesn't tan. You have these white spots all over your back. Down here in Maui, we call it howley rot. But I know in Colorado we can get it too because my ex-husband had it. So those spots where it takes like a special shampoo or something like that usually has salicylic or something like that in it to help calm down that fungus. So candida and yeast can also be a form of fungus. And so when you're starting to have that on your skin, very likely you're consuming too much of it. Beer has several yeasts in it usually. It usually has brewer's yeast. I don't even know. I haven't drank beer in so long. Anyways, beer usually has multiple sources of yeast in it, as well as you got the grains and the malt and all of that that's contributing. Breads has yeast in it. Pizza has yeast in it. Even your kombuchas. Kombucha is a form of a yeast. That SCOBY that you make kombucha from is a form of yeast. So if you tend to partake in multiple of those, let's just say you pick pizza. I love pizza, so I'm not going to stop eating pizza. Let's say you just pick pizza. Well, fine, just eat pizza. But when you drink a 6-pack of beer, have pizza, the next day you're drinking kombucha, and the next night having pasta for dinner, those multiple, everything you reach for has yeast in it. It's going to add up in your body. Yes. Yeast can be good for us. That's why there is kombucha. We do need a certain amount of good bacteria in our body. Yeast is also referred to sometimes as bacteria. So we do need good bacteria in our body to keep the bad bacteria in check. But if all your sources of food have a form of yeast or bacteria or probiotics, whatever you want to call them, in it, then sometimes that balance can get out of whack. When I worked at Whole Foods, I learned from one of the suppliers there. They would have a dinner for us and teach us more about products and supplements. And that was one of the main things they talked about, was these days that we are starting to what's called kind of over-inoculate ourselves by doing too many probiotics now. Because they've started selling probiotics that have 100, 200, 300, even 500. You can go to Whole Foods today or any other health food store and buy a probiotic that has 500 billion strains or bacteria in it. That's crazy. Yeah, so if you've been sick or taking an antibiotic, then you might need that 500 billion. But on a daily basis, every day, we do not need that. So they're starting to show in research that people are starting to over-inoculate themselves, and the balance of good and bad bacteria is starting to flip the other way. And then we start to actually have our symptoms come back again. And then we don't understand why our symptoms are coming back, because it's like, hey, I'm taking my prebiotic, my 500 billion prebiotic every day, so why am I getting sick again? Or why is my skin itchy and inflamed? And why is the yeast coming back? And even guys, if there's any guys out there listening right now, I apologize having to talk about a yeast infection. But ladies, if you all of a sudden start to have yeast infections again, but you've been taking a probiotic, it's possible that you're over-inoculating yourself, or you just need to change strains. That's another thing. You do need to switch up your probiotics right now, or not right now, every now and then, to get different strains to work with your body. Anyways, a lot of that can be going on even with your skin. So your skin can have that yeast going on. Being like smell, right? Perspiration. Your perspiration is very smelly. Well, your skin includes the endocrine system and your sweat glands. So when you have too much of something in your body excrete it through sweating. And you have a concentration of sweat glands in your armpits and inner thighs. And whenever it's smelly, it's your body's way of trying to get rid of something. So an overabundance of yeast in the body can also contribute to body odor, as well as umpteen million other things that we eat, right? We're eating it and then it's coming out through the skin, through the sweat glands in the skin. So therefore your skin is very indicative of what's going on inside. If you have BO, it's very possible that deep inside you have some major cleansing and you need to do, or you need to change your diet to nip some of that in the butt. Sometimes what we smell is garlic and onion, the good things that we put in our bodies too to help build the immune system. But if you have chronic BO and you think you're being healthy, maybe you're overdoing something, or you have an overgrowth of yeast, candida, bacteria, fungus, whatever you want to call it. It all kind of goes together. Anyway, let's also move on. Oh, you know what? Just to mention, like athlete's foot is fungus. That would be an overgrowth of yeast too. So yeah, we're talking all the way down there at your feet, nowhere near where that eye cream is. What's going on with your feet is indicative of what's going on in your body and what you're putting in your body. All right, moving on. One of the things that we usually buy that $200 eye cream for, right, is the dark circles under our eyes and bags. We wake up in the morning, we look in the mirror, and that's what we see. And we're aging. We're like, gosh, darn it, where did all of a sudden these bags and dark circles come from? Dang it. And how much makeup can I put on today to try and hide it after I put on my $200 eye cream first, right? All right, so let me tell you, in traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, both are going to point towards your kidneys with dark circles and puffiness under your eyes. So both are going to point to the strength of your kidneys. Now, I'm not a doctor, so I can't diagnose anything. And don't worry, you're not on the edge of dialysis, hopefully. Again, I'm not a doctor. But to have stressed out kidneys doesn't mean that everybody needs dialysis or a kidney transplant. Okay, let's just get that out there. So we speak in terms of the strength of your kidneys, and they can be somewhat when they get depleted of their nutrients, then they're going to be stressed and maybe not function at their best. They're going to be struggling. You're going to feel tired because your kidneys are down there just like, oh, my goodness, I'm working overtime right now. And you just keep putting all these foods and drinks and beverages in my body that don't agree with me. And I'm about ready to just start declare strike and picketing along, you're going to see your little kidney walking down the street with a sign on its back because it's going to start going on strike over how you're treating it. So depleted kidneys, what I mean by that is, something as simple even as drinking too much water. Yes, we need water. Water is very good for us. Where's my water? Thought I had a water. Here's my water. Drinking water is very good for us. Yes, I agree. We all need it. The human body is over 70% water. We need. If you're drinking by the gallons, when your kidneys are depleted, you start to have a constant thirst. You're really thirsty all the time. So therefore, you might be drinking more water, more, chugging it even. Well, unfortunately, that more water is depleting the kidneys more. Your kidneys are where minerals are utilized and stored. So you just keep drinking water and it's going to dissolve. So imagine you have a pile of salt. Maybe put some salt in a strainer, right? You keep pouring water over that salt, and eventually that salt's just going to dissolve and then go down the drain or onto the ground, wherever you're doing this little experiment. If you're actually going to do it, you don't have to do it. But think about that. If you keep pouring water over a strainer of salt, that salt's going to eventually dissolve and come out of the bottom of the strainer, right? So think of that as your kidneys. Think of your kidneys as a strainer of salt and minerals. Salt is minerals. And a well-balanced salt also has some magnesium and potassium and other minerals in it other than just sodium chloride. So yeah, imagine your kidneys are that strainer and they're trying to hold on to some minerals, but you're adding so much water to your body that it's just depleting those minerals. And if you're not consuming the right foods that provide more minerals, like coconut water, has lots of potassium and magnesium in it to help replenish some of those minerals. So if you're just drinking straight water because you're thirsty all the time, so your kidneys are stressed, and then you are drinking even more water and just pushing water through your body. There comes a time when there is such thing as too much of a good thing. You need to get more minerals in your body. That's why they invented Gatorade. Exactly why. Because athletes were drinking too much water, sweating it out, and depleting their kidneys because they weren't getting electrolytes. The problem with Gatorade, now Gatorade is a good go-to if it's the only thing you have, because it will deplete the sodium in your body. However, Gatorade is usually very imbalanced. It doesn't have enough, the sodium to potassium ratio is way off, way too much sodium to potassium. Sodium and potassium should be 1-to-1 ratio. They should be even. So if you're getting 500 milligrams of sodium, you should get 500 milligrams of potassium in your body, potentially, as best as you can. But Gatorade is very imbalanced. Will it save your life? Yes. And make the kidneys happier or a little bit less depleted? Yes. But it's not going to balance you out 100%. So then you could still be having dark circles and puffy eyes because the minerals in your body are out of balance. Now, when we're speaking minerals, lots of time calcium and magnesium, the list goes on. There's all the little micro minerals, trace minerals. That's the word I'm looking for. Trace minerals that we need as well. But without getting too technical, I'm not going to go down on that too much more. But it's very possible that's how you're stressing out your kidneys. Another way you can stress out your kidneys is, also too much caffeine. Caffeine pushes fluids through your body quickly and will deplete the kidneys of their nutrients. And coffee, let's face it, doesn't have a lot of minerals in it. It's not a hydrator. It's definitely not. It's a diuretic. It's pushing fluids through you. Diuretics are trying to get fluids out of your body. So there's several ways we could be depleting the kidneys. And the kidneys and your adrenal glands have a symbiotic relationship. Your adrenals sit on top of your kidneys. So it's like a little ball up here sitting on top of your kidneys. That little black spot's your adrenals. My fist is your kidney. So when the kidneys get a little bit stressed, so do the adrenals. Caffeine also will deplete the adrenals. Your adrenals release adrenaline, cortisol, happy hormones, aldosterone, all those hormones that we need to have energy and get through our day. And so therefore, if the kidneys aren't functioning well, then the adrenals aren't either. So then you start to have adrenal fatigue along with the kidney depletion. So getting the kidneys stronger and more up to par will bring the adrenals up so that hopefully you're not as tired and sluggish, and then you don't wake up with the dark circles and puffy eyes. Yes, I know. That's a lot to think about. No wonder we just want to buy a $200 eye cream, right? Because you're like, Renee, right now, that $200 eye cream sounds a lot easier because I just buy it and then dab it on my eyes. But if you've been buying that $200 eye cream and your eyes aren't getting any better, then you need to start looking within. There's something going on within. Your skin is indicative of what's going on inside your body. I don't use eye cream. I do not buy a $200 eye cream. And I don't know. You decide. I'm 48 years old. All right. Anyway, moving on. So your kidneys. Let's talk about the edema and the puffiness. So the puffy eyes. You also probably are noticing maybe like your ankles or fingers or other parts of your body are also holding a little bit too much, retaining some moisture. And your question is going to be, Renee, if fluids are going straight through me because my kidneys are stressed and I don't have enough minerals to retain fluids, then why am I swelling everywhere? Why do I have edema? Why are my ankles twice the size they should be? Why do my fingers look like ballpark hot dogs where they swell? It's because your body is in survivor mode, that fight or flight survivor mode. Your kidneys are so stressed that they're worried about when their next hydration is going to come. They're so dehydrated that your body starts to retain fluids in case a situation starts, right? If you go missing, you can go without food for like 2 weeks. We can go without food, but you cannot go without water. We have to have water. So if you're retaining water, then it's very possible that your body is stressed enough right now that it's starting to create its own supply of water in case something is about to happen. Back in the day when we were hunter-gatherers and our body was stressed or we knew we needed to survive something, it was a defense mechanism that our body might bulk up and store some essential things that we need. Because it was very true back in the day that we had days of survival where we didn't know where our next meal was going to come from, or that next stream to get water, right? So it is a defense mechanism in our bodies. Our bodies are amazing. It's amazing that they can do this. But the fact that we live in the generation that we live in now, where clean water, especially as Americans, clean water is available to us. Some of us might be a little bit picky and not want to drink tap water, but we should be really thankful that our municipal waters are as clean and healthy as they are. In a pinch, you know you can drink your city water and survive. Yes. So we need to get those kidneys up and functioning better. Cut back on the caffeinated beverages. Cut back on the sugary stuff that doesn't do anything, like white sugar. White sugar is heavily processed. Here's the catch. Sugar, like sugarcane, pure sugarcane. If I go out here in Hawaii to a sugarcane field and pick sugarcane and then kind of suck on it and eat it, there is tons of minerals in it because sugarcane comes from the soil and the earth and grows. There is minerals in sugar just like there is in salt, because salt comes from the earth as well. But when you're eating white sugar, heavily processed sugar, all of those minerals have been just depleted from that sugar. So it's not a good source. So you need to be eating better sources. In Colorado or the mainland of the United States, the majority of the world, you're going to have to drink canned coconut water. But coconut water, we have grocery stores all over. Coconut water is a great source to get some more potassium in your body without drinking straight water. So let's get those kidneys functioning. If you ever want to do a one-on-one with me, because my podcasts, I try and keep them under a certain amount of time, and I think I'm even starting to get to that time. If you ever want to do a one-on-one with me, schedule. I have a free, what I call a coffee date. Free coffee date, 45 minutes. We can just chat, surface level stuff about what's going on in your body and your life. And then you can decide from there if you want to continue to meet with me. And then we move into doing consultations online. This is all online. You can meet with me anytime. So if I'm just hitting the tip of the iceberg with your health and you want to know more, and more specifically about your scenario, let's do a one-on-one. And also, let's see here. One more thing. I brought up the adrenals when I talked about the kidneys, but my notes tell me I'm supposed to talk about the adrenals more. Also, to get your kidneys and your adrenals up to par, then you want to maybe possibly take on some adaptogens, like astragalus is a really good adaptogen. It's an herb that you can add to teas or even get it in a tincture form. And also B vitamins. You want to do a B complex, meaning it's a well-rounded B vitamin supplement that has all the B vitamins in it. When you just focus on B vitamin, you can take your imbalance another direction. So get a B complex that has all the B vitamins in it, as well as vitamin C. The adrenals love vitamin C as well. So make sure you're getting enough vitamin C in your body, which comes to eating a little bit of fruit, right? There's a lot of vitamin C in fruit. Spinach has a lot of vitamin C as well. So there's a lot of vitamin C in several fruits and vegetables that you can get into your body. Rose hips is another good. Make a tea with rose hip. But the adrenals love B vitamins, adaptogens, and vitamin C, as well as minerals. Minerals. You need to get them in your body, including trace minerals. All right, now moving on from here. I am working on a book. I'm creating a book. It was supposed to just be a small little handout, but I love to share my knowledge. And right now my book is up to about 20 pages, 8.5 by 11. It's a full-sized page. I'm up to about 20 pages. It's probably going to end up being 20 or 30 pages about taking care of your skin topically. My first volume is going to be topically. Volume 2 will be more internal, like we talked about today. But topically, if you want to get my little recipe book, it's kind of a recipe book, guidelines for daily self-care for the whole body from head to toe, to help you have better ideas of how to take care of your skin externally, aka topically, without having to buy that $200 eye cream. And my book's not done yet, but you can shoot me an email. That's Renee Stahl, Renee stahl108@gmail.com. Let me know that you want to be included in the release of my book. So when I release my book, I'm going to put out a special code that you can get it for half price. So let me know if you want to be included in that. You can pre-order by getting the code. You don't actually have to pay money to order, but let me know that you want access to that code to buy it for half price, and I'll let you know when it's released. Yeah, I'm super excited about it. An ebook. It's an ebook that you could also print if you want. It'll be in PDF format. I'm excited about it. I've been working hard, and it should be out soon. Anyway, today I want to leave you with just the thought of take notice of what's going on with your skin. Skincare is beyond this. Yes, I know this tends to be the spot that we want to look young forever, but also there's days when we look at our legs and realize, they're starting to get crepey or wrinkly as we get older. By the way, whole body wrinkles or your skin starting to get crepey is the breakdown of collagen in your body, and I highly recommend starting to take a collagen supplement. If you're a vegetarian or a vegan, there are what's called collagen boosters out there. So you can take collagen boosters to try and help promote your own body's production of collagen. But there's also marine collagen out there too. So if you don't want to do a bovine or a cow source, an animal source, there's marine. So if you're at least a pescatarian and you consume some fish, get the marine collagen for your body. But yeah, seeing your skin breaking down when you visibly look at your knees and they're looking crepey and wrinkly, try some collagen. You need to up the collagen in your body. All right, that was a little side note. Anyway, let's get moving on. I need to close up this podcast. But hopefully maybe I've at least just triggered some flags in your mind of getting you to think a little bit more head to toe. What's going on with your body is very indicative of your diet and what you're consuming. I 100% believe in that. Some of it's external, being exposed to smoke, the sun, whatever it is, the wind. Some of it's external. So it's from the inside out and the outside in. And it sounds like a lot. If you've been buying that $200 eye cream and saying a prayer, you might be a little bit overwhelmed right now to think that you got to try a little bit more than that. But once it becomes a daily practice, once you become aware of this and it becomes a daily practice, it's not that big of a deal. It's just like brushing your teeth every day. We brush our teeth every day, and it's not a big deal. It's just something we do. So I firmly believe you can start taking better of the largest organ of your body, which is indicative of what's going on inside. So you'll start to feel better, sleep better, smell better. That's always a plus, right? Smelling better. And more energy. Let's do it. You can do this. All right. More on skin coming up in podcasts because I'm really liking this subject. In the meantime, though, rate my podcast, give me some kudos and love, and share with anybody who might need to know more about anything I've shared today or in the last 50 episodes of my podcast. Appreciate yourself for being here today and making it to the end of this, because then that proves that you really are looking possibly to making a change in your life and finding more about self-care. Let me also know if you want to pre-register for my book coming out, Renee Stahl 108 Renee Stahl 108@gmail.com. You can also go to my website, reneestahl.online, and sign up for my newsletter from there. Anyways, I'd love to hear from you. We can do a one-on-one, whatever it is. But today, I leave you with peace, love, abundance, and namaste.